Welcome to Dudley's Range Rogues, where today we're shooting the FN SCAR 16. And I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite guns. I know I say that a lot, but I love this gun.
Some people think my job as a gun lobbyist is just wearing suits at the Capitol and shuffling paper. Well, not so much. Welcome to Dudley's Range Rogues, where we're talking about the FN SCAR 16. Now, before we start, make sure you subscribed, that you comment, you like this video, and share with your friends. We appreciate that. But this is the FN SCAR, and honestly, it's the best machine gun, the most reliable machine gun that we actually own. This weapon is fully automatic, as you saw from the intro, but also it's a very competent semi-automatic rifle, like a normal Title I weapon that most people own. But let's talk general about the FN SCAR. Now, it was really developed in a program in the early 2000s as a way to supply a battle rifle for SOCOM, our Special Operations Command. And they wanted a more robust non-M4 variant that they could use in multiple roles. And so this is what FN brought into the competition. Now, was it successful? Not really. And there are a lot of videos about that. You can actually read a lot and listen to a lot of videos about what happened, because I think there's some great discussion about the program itself and how it didn't really work. Now, we don't own the SCAR 17, the 30 caliber version. And there's a very good reason we don't own one, and that is they are extremely expensive. For what you're getting, they're extremely expensive, and the SCAR 16 here in 5.56 is the same way. This is a very expensive gun, and they're frankly almost double the price of what a similar premium rifle in an AR-15 platform would run. But I still like this gun. Now, I'm going to start here at the top and work my way all the way tip to butt. Well, we've made some changes to this gun too, and you're going to see those. First off is the muzzle device. This is actually a different one to add in suppressor, which I might add voids the warranty on any FN rifles, FN SCARs. Why FN would void a warranty on a gun that's so obviously set up for suppressors and should be set up for suppressors beyond me? You'd have to ask the Belgians. But let me show you briefly why that I say it was set up for suppressor, which is this adjustable gas block here. And if you turn this gas block, which is got a little bit of carbon buildup, you turn it to the 10 o'clock position, it's set up for suppressors. So why in the world would you void the warranty and discourage people from using suppressors? Beyond me. You'll see here the gas block right here. You also notice it's a short barrel, 10.5-inch barrel. It's hammer forged, so it's a pretty durable barrel, but it's very short. And you can tell when you shoot this weapon, especially unsuppressed. It's very loud. This front sight has a nice hood. It's adjustable. It's a super nice sight. All the experts on YouTube, along with my friends, especially Mr. Gunziger, will show it to you and say, one of the best sights ever added on a rifle. Now you notice it has sling mount attachments on both sides right here, which is quite nice. It has 4 positions on the Picatinny rails. Nice. Is that modern? I don't know. I suppose you can change some of them. You can't change this. And it's a monolithic design, meaning the whole upper comes all the way forward here. So, is that really a smart modern move? I don't think so. But now as we go backward, you'll notice here, since this is an earlier model, guess what we have? Reciprocating charging handles. So when you fire this weapon, this charging handle with the bolt is going back and forth and back and forth like this. Now the nice part is you can flip the sides, and so A left-handed rifle shooter like me can operate it with his right hand, his support hand, but that's pretty not a great design. My understanding is SOCOM actually asked for that. Now you notice we have a slightly different handle that's not normal, and it's angled down. We had a plastic handle and it broke. So we've gone to the full metal, but it is angled down and it is a little bit easier to use. We've got this full Picatinny rail right next to your handle. And frankly, it's a great way as to grate your knuckles off. Done that a few times when you're trying to operate it quickly. Now we'll work our way down and you start getting into the receiver, and you'll notice that it has very similar controls to an AR-15, an ambidextrous AR-15, but an AR-15 nevertheless. It has an ambidextrous selector lever, and it goes from safe to semi and pew, 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 pew. Has it on both sides. It also has the mag release for us lefties on this side. Now, as you work back, sling positions, mounts right here on both sides, basically hooks. And now we're back to the rear sight. And frankly, this is probably the best rear sight on any battle rifle I've ever seen. Easy to flip up, snaps into place very easily. You don't have to fight it. Metal construction and good apertures in the sight, just fantastic. I wish everybody made those kind of front sights and rear sights as backup sights, but I'm sure that's a high part of the cost. Now you notice the grip is different. This is the Magpul grip that did not come stock. We like the more vertical grip instead of the swept back old AR version. All right, then we keep going down, and of course, this has a foldable stock, and it's quite different than others. It has an adjustable cheek piece that can go up and down. That's really nice. Has adjustable length of pull, and then it can fold in on itself. It actually doesn't work that direction. You can notice it folds and snaps in right here into this little notch in the brass deflector. A very well put together stock, in my opinion. And I like the fact that it comes as an FDE. In fact, it's very common to see these in flat dark earth. You almost don't see them in all black. They're a little more rare in all black. So overall, this is an excellent weapon, but it does have some negatives. One of them is the reciprocating charging handle, which they have updated in the more modern version. It also has, I think, some weaknesses in the rails. Really not what you'd expect out of a very expensive rifle. It has pretty good ambidextrous controls. 20% of us are lefties with a rifle, and so that's important to many of us, but it's important for everybody in case you have to shoot from the other side around a different corner. I need to mention reliability. Because I mentioned it earlier, I need to tell you, we have shot somewhere around 20,000 rounds, maybe 30,000 rounds through this gun. I think we've cleaned it 3 times. It is an extremely reliable machine gun, and I think of the 20-some machine guns that we possess, it's the only one that's never jammed once except to ammunition failure. And that was really the part of the ammunition, not the failure of the rifle. I've heard people say they're upset with FN because they think they're temperamental and they don't work as well. Yet the research I've done and people I've talked to, some of whom were a part of the development program of the FN for the Army, others who rent these machine guns at public ranges, show their records show literally hundreds of thousands of rounds to these guns and no parts failures. I believe it. If somebody said you got to go to war right now with one of the machine guns in your vault, what would you grab? It's this one. And it's a little bit light, and so it especially in full auto fire, it does like to chatter around, but it's still pretty controllable, still pretty easy to manipulate, and a relatively fast weapon. We found even with the shorter barrel, it's quite accurate. And as Top Shot Dustin says, it's time to shut up and shoot. So let's go to the range and blast away.
Well, now that we've talked about some of the details of this weapon, let's do a little bang bang, huh?
Bang bang's good.
So I asked Travis the Viking to come out, and he's a big platform with those huge shoulders. So why don't you kill something out there?
There's something to kill, sure.
Well, with
sure
this
of
little
it.
baby gun. Well, this isn't your first time shooting this gun, obviously, but yes.
I love this gun.
Yeah.
I know you say it a lot, but I love this gun.
I know, I keep telling people I didn't think I would like it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know that we've ever really had a jam, any kind of malfunction with it really, other than obviously a round that didn't go boom, but that was it. So
There are critics of this gun, I know, and but I've talked to some Army SOCOM soldiers. You might know him, Mr. Gunzakir, who did the development of the 6.5 version of this, and he loved it. When you talk to some people who served with it in the military, they love it or hate it. I love it.
yeah,
So
I agree.
I mean, it seems like an adaptable gun.
Yep.
Is it a light year leap forward from your standard M4 and the modern equivalents of it? Maybe not. Pretty darn close though. I'm going to engage some targets 100, 150, 200, and then go 300 and 400. Now, a little difficult in some wind here. We're still shooting 5.56 with about 18 mile an hour wind right now on my right hand side, but still should be very easy to engage. And I normally shoot it with my sport hand here wedged up in here, but it's not kind on non-gloved hands, but I tend to try and shoot weapons like this with gloved anyway. This is a light, fast, really nice battle rifle in a standard carbine round. Is it worth the money? You have to choose that because they're not cheap. FN's very proud of their gear, but we're glad we bought it. Well, the question I have for you is: would you buy this gun?
Yes.
even if it was considering it was your money and they're not cheap.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
It's a good gun. It's a good, reliable gun.
it's a good gun. I hope we can get our hands on a SCAR 17, especially select fire. It would be a really good, fun gun to review. I will say that FN is very careful not to sell guns to your lowly civilians. So even for Class 3 dealers, they kind of play games with you and slow roll you, and that's kind of crappy. If somebody said the balloon went up, sorry, I grabbed this. Still to this day. For all the weapons we have and the full auto weapons. So like and subscribe and share and make some comments. Tell me if you think this is worth the money. It's a lot of money. $2,900, I think, if you really look hard. But tell me what you think of this gun. If you've ever shot one or you shot one in a video game, most people have. Tell us what you think. We'll start the arguments because there are a lot of opinions on this gun. In the meantime, look for our other videos. We've got some great ones. They're going to pop up on the screen right now. See you next time.